So when it comes to dying, we're definitely no stranger to that on this channel. We've taken a look at a lot of dying mods, and here's 3 more. That's right, 3 more mods all about death or dying, and even a bit of a twist which you're gonna see very soon. I mean, we are called NecrosVideos after all. Let's get on to the first mod. And the first mod in today's video is called Realism Death, and it's going to, well, give you a more realistic death. How does that look? Well, let's go ahead and find out. By the way, I completely forgot to enable my HUD, so for the last couple of videos, that's why my health and ammo have been missing. Alright, let's go ahead and die. When you do die, you're gonna go into first-person mode. A lot of people love these kinds of mods, and this is going to give that to you. The screen will then slowly fade to black as you fade into nothingness. And that's going to happen every single time you die. Now, it is going to differ depending on how you die. We've seen a lot of first-person death mods in the past. There are ad nauseum amounts of them on the workshop. Okay, that was strange. Something tells me this church is haunted, so we're gonna go back outside. Alright, I went ahead and turned on realistic fall damage. What does it look like if we were to jump off of, well, the roof of a house? Only one way to find out. Alright, second time's the charm. Here we go. Ooh, not quite enough. Let's go ahead and give that yet another try. Third time's the charm. And that's how we're gonna go out. Definitely a super cool mod. And if you don't like the tinnitus, it does work with the no tinnitus mod. And if you don't like the red glare, which you only get sometimes, well, no worries, because this mod also has full support for the removing red mods on the workshop as well. So you get a bit of variation on the ways that you want to die. Alright, last up, why don't we go ahead and see what it looks like when we die from, well, combat. And you're gonna notice that, well, Combine are kind of like Stormtroopers, so this might take a while. Or maybe not, they're actually doing some pretty good damage. Now in combat, again, it's gonna depend on how you're moving, the velocity and all that. You're pretty much going to ragdoll. It's pretty eerie, and I definitely recommend anyone who wants to die in fashion. Next up, we're gonna be the ones doing the killing, and this is the Half-Life 2 themed gibbing mod. It's going to be a gibbing mod that is really true to Half-Life 2. It's not going to give it any extra over-the-top blood effects. It's going to give you effects that are believable within the realms of Half-Life 2. Now, we can see right here that it doesn't really seem to work all that well on the zombie. But it definitely does work on the head crab. Oh my god, that poor head crab was obliterated into bits. Let's go ahead and see that again. That is so cool. And again, with the particles looking as low textured as they are, this would theoretically be possible in Half-Life 2, although with the original hardware it might be a little laggy. Let's go and try an antlion. Now this might be cheating. Yeah, I can definitely tell that's not the mod. Antlions naturally do kind of just combust when you're using a firepower. Now I would try a human. Oh my god. Okay, so because of YouTube's strict gore laws, which, you know, I understand, but it is a video game, I guarantee you can find gameplay of any of the Doom games, and there's going to be no issue. But I seem to always get demonetized, so I am going to have to, well, block the screen out when I do this. And I promise you, it doesn't look traumatizing or anything, it just looks goofy. Because it has that, well, Half-Life 2 jank and charm. And I think that's what makes this gore mod really interesting and honestly valuable to those who want to stay true to the source material. Now I do understand that it's kind of annoying that I can't show off the main premise of this mod, but just trust me, it looks awesome. And if we go ahead and try a zombine here, you can totally do it to them, and thankfully it's not red colored, which is probably the one thing YouTube cares about. So if you use enough high explosives or just really high impact damage sources, you're gonna get this really cool gibbing effect, and I like it. It also doesn't seem to be all that expensive, and the one thing I do love the most about this is, well, if you do remember, we did have gibbing in Half-Life 1, but of course that was taken away in Half-Life 2, minus of course the antlions, which, I mean, is this really gibbing? Like, yeah, there's pieces left over, but it's so basic. You know, it's funny, now that I think about it, what if we use an explosive? Can we get the gibbing effect to work on the antlion? Nope. It's still gonna have that default gibbing effect. Alright, what about our best friend, the Antlion Guard? 2 rockets should do it, hopefully. Nope, we're gonna need more than 2. Alright, let's try that one more time. And there we go. Unfortunately, we do not get the giving effect, even when we shoot the ragdoll after the fact. But hey, if you're looking for a really cool and cheap giving mod, this may just be the one you're looking for. And last up in today's video, we have the Defibrillator Plus. It's going to be a defib. Now, you're probably thinking, whoa, Necros, hold on, man. You said this video is going to be all about death. Defibs bring people back to life. And while you are correct, you can also kill things with it. This is a weapon of mass destruction. However, it's also a weapon that can bring back things to life. Now, kind of noticed something a little weird. One, I took his gun when he dropped it, so he's got no more gun anymore. Hey, I'll send you back to the Reaper, player. You're also going to notice that he did not come back as the same man he once was, but I mean, near-death experiences do kind of change a person. However, this is definitely on a bit of a different level. The model completely changes, so my guess is that it brings back or respawns the NPC with a similar class to the one that they were when they died. So I guess Combine Soldier is just the typical generic term. Now, I do want to know, are we going to always get a different Combine Soldier? I don't think so. It looks like it's just always going to be the same one. And I think it's kind of funny how we're just constantly killing this poor guy. You do gotta get down pretty close. Wait, hold on a second. Is that a different model? Sorry, homie, I gotta kill you again. Alright, here we go. Okay, maybe I'm just losing it. I feel like the model's different, but it's the same one now. But like in that one instance, it did look like it changed. However, nope, it's the exact same one. Okay, cool. Now the glorious thing about this though is I can kill... Oops. Alright, so do you guys want to know the funniest thing ever? Use this with the gibbing mod we just took a look at, and they will explode. It's pretty hilarious. So unfortunately, in order to kill Odessa, we gotta punch him, which is a bit slower, which honestly I probably do prefer that anyway. But we can bring him back to... Odessa? I mean, hey, be whoever you want to be, that's cool, but I just didn't expect that is all. Alright, let's try that again. Now, the reason why that happened is because in Garry's mod, by default, Odessa is considered a citizen, not a special character. Although if you do have the Z base, that does fix that issue, which is pretty cool. Wait for me, Dr. Freeman. I'll come with you. And we're back to being a dude again. Interesting stuff. Very cool. It is kind of funny because it's going to be a different model based on the specific NPC, because... You know what? I think we're just gonna move on. We got the defib admin. I can't even tell you what's different about this, but I think we can kill pretty insane NPCs. For instance, the hunter. Now, it doesn't one-shot, but it does shock him, and it does kind of leave him paralyzed for a moment, and then you can just beat the living hell out of him. And you can bring him back and do it all over again. Now, I do believe the admin function just kind of removes the cooldown, if there even is one. And then we also have the Charger Edition, which is pretty cool. Now, how this works is you actually have to charge it, kind of like an actual defib. Love that sound. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, with everything I read in the description, and with every button command and different combination I've done, I even tried aiming for the heart, I can't get this to work. So, I guess don't use the charge version. But hey, if you're gonna die in Garry's mod, why not do it in a new, fun, and interesting way? With these 3 mods, that should hopefully fulfill that purpose. But as always, you guys will be the judge. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you want to see in the next video. Use code NecrosVideos if you do want to save 20% off on your next G Fuel order. Leave a like, subscribe. Thank you guys again for watching, and until next time, please stay alive, and farewell.